All right, in this video, we're going to be analyzing cash flow. I'm going to show you the actual calculation for the statement of cash flows on a real property. This is important because most people completely misunderstand cash flow and they walk away from good deals. As this deal sits right here with a purchase price of $1 million, a loan amount of $800,000, interest of 7%, and rent of $70K. Most people would walk away from this deal, and I'm going to show you how you can still make money. This is in our series of 5 ways to make income off real estate. We've got passive income, massive income, tax benefits, appreciation, and leverage. And I'm going to show you today how we can use cash flow in this deal to understand how to make money. All right, with that being said, these numbers are going to be very easy to memorize. So if you want to, you can go ahead, pause the screen, write these down, and then we'll go ahead and get into our calculations. So the reason why I have income on the left is cash flow on the right is most people focus on income when they should be actually focused on cash flow. And what they do is they call their cash flow income. They see a property that makes negative income and they get very afraid. I'm going to show you how this property makes negative income and positive cash flow. And that's money that we can actually go out and spend without having to pay taxes on, which is great. So let's start off with NOI. This is your net operating income, right? This is your actual performance of the property outside of your investment into the property, which means it has nothing to do with the purchase price or the loan products that you use to purchase the property. It's just simply the performance of the property. So we're going to go over it. We already said we have gross income of $70,000, right? So this is a positive number. I'm going to write little pluses and minuses so you know what's positive and what's negative. So 70. We're just going to write 70K, make life easy on us, right? And we know this is a positive number, right? So negative number, we're going to minus out our tax, property tax. If I can write correctly. Property tax. And this is going to be 5K for this property. And we're going to subtract out maintenance. Maintenance of $4,000. And we're going to subtract out marketing. In this example, we're going to say the property is already rented out and that our marketing expenses are very minimal in order to maintain tenancy in this property for the year. We're also going to have to subtract out insurance. INS, short for insurance, and that's going to be $2,000 for our property insurance. All of these expenses lead us to our net operating income. We still need other calculations in order to calculate cash flow. What else do we need to calculate? Well, we need to calculate our payment. Right? And we're going to be subtracting out that loan payment. And we're going to say in this particular case, it's about $63,000, $300. We're going to actually round it up to $64K. Just to make our math a little bit easier, because I want to demonstrate it with some reasonable accuracy, but also without these calculations from getting too exhausting and creating this video to be longer than it needs to be. All right. Our last and final subtraction in order to get our cash flow is we need to subtract out income tax. Right? And we don't know that until we calculate our income because that's what creates our income tax. So in order to calculate our NOI, we need to subtract all of these items. Well, if we subtract 70 minus 5 minus 4 minus 1 minus 2, we get 58K. Okay, it's a positive number. Next, we got to subtract out the interest portion of our loan payment. I'm going to just say, to make our numbers easy, that we're putting roughly 10% of this loan payment as amortization, which would be about $6,000, which would put our interest at $58,000. So minus minus $58,000 worth of interest. Now, most people would stop right here and they would get zero income, and that would be completely false. We actually have depreciation, which we can write off on our assets. Depreciation is 1 in 27.5 years, and we can only take one of those years of depreciation today. So we're going to multiply, so it's minus 1 million times the fraction of 1 over 27.5, which gives us, it's like 36,363.63. So we're just going to round that to 36K in depreciation. Okay, so negative 36K. So we get 58 minus 58, which gives us 0, minus 36K of depreciation, and we get minus 36K in taxable income. Income tax. We then need to multiply that by our tax rate. Everybody's going to be different, which is why your statement of cash flows is going to be completely different than somebody else's for the exact same property. But let's just say you're a baller, right? You're paying 40% in taxes. So 0.4 is our tax rate. We multiply that together. 36 times 0.4, we get $14,400. And it's the negative number because this is a tax credit that we're receiving for losing money on our real estate. So at the end of the day, this is our income tax credit. So we're going to put negative, and we're going to round this, 14K. Well, since we're subtracting a negative, it's going to end up being a positive for our statement of cash flow. So let's go through this. We've got 70 minus 5, minus 4, minus 1, minus 2. We already know that's $58,000. We're going to subtract 64 from 58. And we already know that's actually negative $6,000. So we're going to take negative $6,000. We're going to subtract a negative 14 from it, which is going to add 14 to it. So negative $6,000 plus $14,000 is going to give us positive $8,000 in cash flow for the year for owning this property. Now, most of those cash flow benefits came from, yes, our rent, but a significant portion of the net at the end of the day was that income tax credit from our depreciation. So if we're not making a lot of money in the rest of our life, it won't make any sense to own this piece of real estate. But if we're making a lot of money and we need some tax benefits, then this is absolutely a great way to avoid some tax and make a little bit of money while you lose money. So in order to finish this calculation, we then need to take $8,000 and divide it by what we invested into it. Well, we know we have an $800,000 loan and it's $1 million property. So we must have put $200,000 in order to own this property, right? Well, we can cancel out those zeros, right? 8 and 200 have some common factors here, right? So we can take out a 2 and that's now a 4. Take out a 2, that's now a 1. 4 divided by 100 is 4%. And this is our cash on cash return benefit from owning this property. Now, like I said, most people would have looked at that deal that I had showed you. $1 million, an $800,000 loan, 7% interest rate, and return on capital from rent of $70,000, and said that this deal would lose money. And it does make negative income. But what's more important than income is actual cash flow. And that's really important in real estate. So I appreciate you for sticking around to the end of this video. If you want, stick around for part 2, or I'll create an extended part of this video. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, and I'll show you actual spreadsheets on cash flow that show you the benefit of holding real estate for more than 1 year, because the worst year in owning real estate is your first year. After that, it gets significantly more beneficial, and this cash on cash return starts to explode over time. Thank you for watching and have a great day.